So that's it for the first game. We have Lombardia here. Map I'm not a huge fan of, but it should still be fun to cast, surely. So let's start with introducing Druz Lite here. It's sort of a B team of Druzina, who are in the first division and doing great there. And these are both Rabbe and Chief are part of the Druzina clan, and Lite Corbo as well actually. They have the Druz tag here, as you can see as well. Very solid players. Lite Corbo, he just broke 1600 1v1, whereas Rabbe and Chief are stable in the what should we say, 1400 plus 1v1 range. So absolutely solid players as well. We have Rabbe here with Frank's pocket. Rabbe has been playing Franks a lot, at least in my friendly team games with him, so I think that's a Steve is very comfortable with and likes playing. Not really too much to mention about pocket positioning here, because Lombardia is so cramped, you spawn very closely together. Team wall is always a thing on Lombardia, you just use the natural barriers and get the full wall around the base. Later on to extend the trade route on either side here for continued gold access. But we have Frank's pocket, we have Cheap as the Mayans on the right hand side. Mayans likely to go into the archers, but given the whole ability of Lombardia, Mayans are very likely to go for, or any sim is very likely to go for the unique unit, which in Mayans case is the plumed archers. There's stone in abundance here close to their bases. And we have some clearing of boars here. Whose boars are those? Question mark. And some horrible goals on the hill here, but at least within wallable parameters here. So yeah, Jeep with the mines, likely to go for the Balloon Archers, maybe Eagle Raids if needed, Eagle Warriors. And they have decent Halberdiers as well, should the need arise for those. We see the players are at their absolute minimum of idle time here, keeping consistent production and seem to be off to good starts. Left hand side we have Lite Corbo with the Goths, the infamous civilization with a team bonus of barracks working 20% faster. Always comes in handy when you need to rush out some pikes or whatnot. And with the unique technology in Imperial Age, the barracks work an additional 100% faster. So Goths, famous or infamous if you will, for their barracks infantry units spam. If you give Goths the pre-boom and they get to Imperial Age, there's just not much you can do to stop them, because they also have 10 more pop space than the generic civilization. They could literally easily get to more than 100 army and sustain it as the units go down. So we'll see what Lite Corbo has in mind here. It's also going to come in handy against the other sims here, because we have Vietnamese on the left hand side for Nepo clan here with the Wololowitz. Right hand side we have Koreans, arguably going for the archers line as well, because the Koreans get archers defense instantly. And finally they have a pocket with Team of the Magyars here, likely going into the paladins, but could also go for cav archers, which actually would be half bad against Goths, but would fall victim to potential eagles from Cheap, of course. Yip yip, hey hey. I have been casting 4th division and 3rd division. Now it's the 2nd, and finally I'll do a couple of games from 1st division as well. And whether something happens after that depends a lot on my stamina, but I think that will be it for for today. So I didn't 100% decide what games to cast today, that's why I didn't pre-announce them, but announce them as they go instead. But for the 4th division set, we had a great set of 12 Angry Pikemen versus... was it Expa? I think it might have been Expa, or I might remember wrongly. But it was a great set, especially their arena game was something worth a watch. So, Timo going for the 20 population up here. I question that decision on Lombardia, considering that the walls are very likely to be almost complete by the time the first scouts can reach the enemy base. I mean, yes, Magyars, absolutely likely to go, a good choice to go scouts. They have, they get melee attack upgrades instantly once they reach the next stages. Yeah, yip yip, they may very well have won, no spoilers, but it was still a good set. The opponents were putting up a good fight, and we had some eventful games, but I'm not gonna spoil the result, of course. Could have gone either way. So we have some early fuel ages for Nepo clan here. I'm not loving that. If you see on the other side here, Lite Corvo walling off the left-hand side, Rabbe double palisading in the middle, and then the right-hand side, Cheap is pulling up the palisades as well. There's just no way the early aggression is gonna get through here. Maybe with some archer support from the Vietnamese. It's actually a forward barracks. I'm going to be a forward range here for Wolowitz, I guess. I like that call with the distances on Lombardia, but still doesn't change the fact that they have to break through the walls. And at best just cause quick walls of the opponents. Look at the scores here. We have few ages on the way for Lite Corvo here, but that's about it. The others are going up just now. Rabbe not stressing it all, going for a 28 pop fuel here. Probably going 30 pop past Castle Knights or Boom with Franks here. Remains to be seen if he goes straight for the units or just goes into Boom mode. Triple walls here. So the middle section is simply off limits. 5 villagers forward for Pac-Man Sally here. And going for the towers play here. This first forward tower is very far behind though. I get the idea, but even with fletching this will barely reach behind the second layer of walls that Cheap is putting down now. So Nepo clan, they're putting themselves in a bad spot here already. But sure, they're going tower rush, they're trying to punish the walls here. But they're also putting themselves severely behind in terms of economy, because Druzina, or Druz Lite rather, will just reach Castle Age light years ahead of the opponents here. Keep forcing some walls here, wants to keep the towers out. Just another layer of walls behind. There is no way that the Koreans tower are causing any damage here. Look at the populations now, 29, 29, 28. It's a villager lead, even reaching the feudal age for Druz Lite here. And setting up nicely, of course, for the Castle Age picks here. Just look at the food and gold counts here. Should be right around the corner for most of them. Rabbe actually struggling slightly for food here, but he should be up as well, comfortably. Stone walls! They are cheaper for mines after all, so why not just make sure that Pac-Man Sally with the 5 villager forward here never breaks through here. He's getting through the layers of walls here, probably going to drop another one, but it's going to take forever to get through the stone walls as well. Market is up, so Cheap should be right around the corner of the Castle Age click as well. Yep, shouldn't be a problem. And Castle Age already on the way for Lite Corvo as well. He shouldn't be stressed out at all by the scouts and archers forward on the left hand side here. Still opportunity to wall further behind here, outside of the archers 4+1 range. So it's just minding his own business. Could even go for some stone walls here if he feels it's needed, because he is on stone. Probably planning to go for that one castle needed to start spamming Huskarls. Cheap with a heavy stone investment as well. Could probably drop a castle, maybe not on a hill here now with the Korean towers going up, but Pac-Man Sally is not going to get through here. There's just no way. Decent villager production behind all this though, and it looks fairly even right now, but that's because all of Druz Lite are going up to the next stage. Rabbe slightly slower to the cast stage, but he's going up at 31 pop and just minding his own business here, extending the farm economy, going 9 on gold. I think he wants to go straight into the knights here and not the boom. Double stables, blacksmith is up, scale barding armor coming in. just finished, I believe, and on the economy tab, Rabbe is set up nicely for multiple stables production here with the food and gold setup he has. Could look at the stones for Lite, Corvo, and Cheap as well. We see they're very close to that stone needed for a castle. Cheap 20% away from the next stage, but I don't know where he wants this castle. Maybe just outside of tower range here or something. Somehow Timo and Wolowitz broke through here though, so that's sloppy of Lite Corvo to let them in here, unless it is an intentional trap to just clean up their armies with their now incoming Castle Age numbers here from Druzina. This shouldn't be a threat though. Rabbe is already in Castle Age, he's just going to provide a couple of knights. They already have +1/+1, and at best Lite Corvo is looking at a few villager losses here, and going into the Castle Age the villager counts are still roughly the same with the whole Nepo clan team, all in the feudal age still. They're going full feudal against a full Castle Age team here, and it's actually kind of weird to see this kind of progression, because it's not too often you see a whole team in Castle Age and the whole other team is stuck in feudal. TC is doing work on the archers, and Pac-Man Stally with more forward towers here now. They're stonewalling at home here just to make sure the aggression of Druz Lite won't easily reach their bases, but with all the players in the Castle Age, Lite Corvo will be dropping a castle any moment as well, probably gonna drop it here or somewhere to protect stones and golds here. But Rabbe with his knights here and ever increasing numbers is just going to demolish all his army here and keep the aggression completely out. Good block from Timo though to keep the scouts in the walls there, but Lite Corvo could just delete those walls and let knights through, so that's a no-brainer really. And he comes to the castle on the left-hand side to stop any further entries and towers on this side, so that's a good placement as well. Would have benefit from a small stone or palisade wall there to not let the scouts in there, but the castle is certainly going to go up for Lite Corvo here, and no more damage output potential for Nepo clan here. All of the Wolowitz Vietnamese archers will likely go down to knights here as well, even though Rabbe doesn't have the +2 defense yet. And the investment is just so huge. Druz Lite, Rabbe the pocket already with 2 TCs. Cheap sticking with 1, but is now well underway with the plumed archers production. Will have a very quick and mobile army to send forward, and that doesn't get stopped by stone walls. Might even happen an overchop here at some point, so Nepo clan, it's not looking bright for them given the current circumstances. The whole opposing team in the Castle Age, and the only one, well, Pac-Man Stally, and they're all on the way up to the Castle Age now, but they're just already so much behind in villagers and lost so much army as well, so Druz Lite are looking great for this one. Random tower on the woodline here for Pac-Man Stally. It does deny expansion to this one, but that's not the first one Lite Corvo is going to go for anyway. Lite Corvo likely flaring these poor villagers now, just to get rid of them. Rabbe, please, help me out here. Tries for some stone walls, but the knights run in just in time, and these 2 poor villagers should surely be history. Little archers out on the field, combined with knights, and we even have huskarls in the making now. So, Castle Age armies increasing for Druz Lite here. They're with a collected 20 military here against 13 of the Nepo clan here. But Nepo clan still with 2 players yet to reach the Castle Age. Second TC for Lite Corvo as well, going into a bit of boom mode here, as Rabbe has dropped his 3rd one and extending the farm economy, going for a healthy Castle Age setup, boom setup here, and will likely be rather early to the Imperial Age as well. They found the forward base, so the Knights of Rabbe could cause some discomfort here. They will be focusing down these feudal age archers for sure, and Mr. Wolowitz will yet again be left with no military whatsoever, just upon reaching the Castle Age. Easy cleanup there. Rabbe still not with the +2 low, but The only consequence of that being losing a few more numbers. Forward production will be dealt with, so Mr. Volovitz will have to replenish it back home, and that's a huge wood investment to go into for the crossbows. When you have everything forward and it will go down, that means waiting time before the crossbows can actually be produced, and it's going to affect your numbers as well. Timo in the pocket seems to have a healthy setup here though, is with the 2 TCs now at least, going into the Knights here with Magyars. Superior upgrades to Rabbe, but of course lagging behind in numbers. 4 military against, well, it's only 5 for Rabbe, but Rabbe now going for the defense and should still be set up for consistent multiple stable production here. Huskarls unupgraded, but they still have 10 attack and high pierce armor. Will be dealing with the forward buildings here, and there's nothing the archers of or crossbows on Mr. Lovitz can do about it. Goth spam is real, and we have some tuned archers in the mix as well. Huskarls soon to be joining, and they're looking for a point of entry where Sheep will deny walls with the plumed archers here, and the Knights and Huskarls will likely break through the palisades here and wreak havoc in Nepo clan's home base. Don't even need the Knights to break through the walls. Apparently, plumed archers helping out nicely at 22 military for Sheep here. He is the one providing the most military here. Pac-Man Stally might be looking for some panic re-walling here, but with all these plumed archers inside the base, they could almost even outrun Knights here, so they are going to be tough to deal with. We see some blue on the other side here, but that's just the remaining stone walls of Pac-Man Stally here, who invested so much into walls and towers that there's not even a castle up for Pac-Man Stally yet. Let's look at their eco. Yep, no castle yet, even though war wagons could be helpful, at least against plumed archers maybe here with their higher pierce armor, but with the enemy knights on the field, then the war wagons might struggle as well if it comes to some kind of melee fighting. Good hit and run micro here for Sheep now. He's going to focus down quite a few Magyars Knights here though. They are fully upgraded. Here comes Rabbe, only lacking the +2 here, and yeah, they're being outmatched here, but the overall military number is still higher for Druz Lite here. Huskarls are in the mix as well, and they will make quick work of Pac-Man Stally's crossbows for sure. Rabbe with a higher score here now, just enjoying life with the Frank's boom here, triple TCs, solid farm eco, and yeah, we're reaching the base. That's the GG moment for Nepo clan. It's going to be a 1-0 for Druz Lite. And now we're looking at the stats here. Rabbe, man of the hour here with the MVP badge and overall solid eco to back everything. Highest score in the end. 40 to 7 KD, that's just ridiculous. And meanwhile we have Sheep with the highest army. Volovitz with some numbers as well, but the feudal commitment of Nepo clan just didn't work out for Lombardia here. $85 villagers for Rabbe, so solid boom lead for both Rabbe and Sheep. Did Sheep ever go into multiple TCs? He did go into 4 TCs, so that's why his villager number is high, going for a ridiculous mines boom here, when the opposing team is mainly on 1 TC plays here, aside excluding the pocket, who did go to 3 TCs in the end, but the uptimes speak for themselves here. Much earlier castlage for the Druz Lite team.